Hi everyone, it's Tuesday and we're continuing to learn about three-dimensional shapes. We are learning to identify, name and describe familiar three-dimensional objects. We can identify familiar three-dimensional shapes. We can use the terms flat and curved surfaces. We can use the terms edges, vertices to describe shapes. We can identify between 3D and 2D objects and describe the differences and similarities. And we can recognize that flat surfaces of 3D objects are two-dimensional shapes and name the shapes of these surfaces. All right, we will continue to use the vocabulary below. So if throughout the lesson you need some of these words to help you, you can always come back and use the slides or listen to the video or look at the video again so that you can see all of the vocabulary words there. Okay. All right, this is a quick shout it out. Have you got it? What's this shape called again? What's the two-dimensional name of this shape? Can you see? That's right. On the side, on the face, it has a square shape. That's right. But what's the three-dimensional name of this shape? A cube, correct. Okay, so we can write cube. All right. Okay, how many edges and faces does a cube have? Let's take a look. All right, let's do the edges first. All right, so we need to have a look at the straight edges. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we can see these dotted lines, 10, 11, and 12. All right, now we'll change colors. So we've got 12 edges or straight sides. Okay, and now we're going to do the faces. Let's take a look. So we've got one at the top, and then at the right side, one at the front, and one at the left side. One at the bottom, and then one at the back. So we have 6 faces. Let's check. 12 edges and 6 faces. How many vertices does a cube have? Let's take a look. All right, we can see the vertices or the pointy edges, the corners. These are right here where all of these red marks are. These are our vertices. All right. Okay, and we have 8 vertices on our cube. Okay, let's take a look at this shape. Do you know what shape this one is? What shapes can you see? Yeah, I can see that circle over there as well. Okay, so the two-dimensional shape On the flat end of this shape is a circle. But what is the three-dimensional name of this shape? Let's take a look. Cylinder, that's right. I bet lots of you knew that at home. A cylinder. Okay, let's take a look at this cylinder shape. How many faces does a cylinder have? Do you know? It's got different surfaces, but which ones are the faces? Let's take a look. 1, 2. These are our flat faces, aren't they? We have other surfaces, but they're not referred to as faces. Correct. What 2D shapes can you see in the 3D shape? Have a look. I wonder how many different shapes you can see. Let's have a look at our cube and we can see our, it's a bit hard to see, our square. And then we come to our cylinder and we have a circle. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is sort the two-dimensional shapes and the three-dimensional shapes. So have a look here and see if you can work out what two-dimensional shapes you can see and what three-dimensional shapes you can see. You might like to draw the two-dimensional shapes on a piece of paper, or you might just like to imagine where you think each of them will go. And then you can check your answers on the next page. So before we go and do that, let's have a little think about it. Okay, so we know that a three-dimensional shape is a larger shape. It has more volume in it. So it has more faces, whereas a two-dimensional shape is flat. Okay, so let's have a look and see if we can see some flat shapes. So yes, we've got a circle over here. We know that this is a flat shape compared to a cylinder that is round also, but it's three-dimensional. It is not flat. Okay, we can also see another three-dimensional shape here in our cube. And then we've got our rectangle and our hexagon that are also a two-dimensional shape. What do you think our cone would be? It's got a circle at the bottom. But yes, you're right. It's a three-dimensional shape. Well done. Okay, and what about our square? That's right. It's a two-dimensional shape. Well done. Okay, and then our cylinder. I bet you know where that should go. Correct. Three-dimensional. Another cube. Three-dimensional. And our triangle, which is two-dimensional. So you can check your answers on the next page. How did you go? All right, there's other ways that we can sort shapes. We can sort them in a variety of ways. So now we're going to look at some different features or properties of the shapes. So this time we're going to sort them into flat and curved. So we're looking at the flat edges or flat sides or flat faces, thinking about those types of features, and then curved edges. Okay. So let's have a little look. That's right, a triangle is flat, has straight edges, doesn't have any curves in it. We've got our cube, also got flat faces. Oh, interesting. We've got our cylinder. It's got round edges, but it does have flat faces. So you might have to work out where you think, how you want to sort it. Okay, thinking about the different features. Maybe it would be better to have a Venn diagram where we can put something in the middle with that one, but it's up to you. All right, let's have a look at our answers on the next page. All right, so we can see on the right hand side are our shapes that have curved edges, and on our left hand side is our flat edges and faces. All right, another way that we could sort our shapes is with vertices or round edges. So a bit similar to the straight edges in a way, or at least it's going to have a curved surface with our round edges. So we can compare those two. Let's have a look at some of the different shapes. So we've got our circle, okay, it's got no vertices. All right, and we've got our cylinder, it's got round edges, correct. Our cube has lots of vertices. Our hexagon has lots of vertices, and our rectangle as well. Our square, and then we've got our cylinder, which has round edges. Our cube, what do you think? Correct, it's got vertices, and so does our triangle. Check your answers on the next page. How did you go? All right, now it is your turn. Number 1, complete the Tuesday's PDF by colouring the objects with straight edges blue and curved edges red. If you don't have those colours, you can choose a different colour just to show the difference between the straight edges and the curved edges. Then cut or draw the shapes and sort them into 3-dimensional and 2-dimensional shapes and place them onto the table. So just like what we've been working on today, we've got our 2D shapes and our 3D objects over here. Okay. Also, if you're not able to print out, that's totally fine. You can just draw the pictures as best you can and do it that way on a piece of paper and take a photo. That would be perfect. Okay, number 2, look at the shapes you collected yesterday and sort them and take a photo to share. So for example, you could sort them into curved or flat surfaces, and sort and label or take a photo would be really good. All right, then we've got a video for you to watch on 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional shapes. And then we've got a game to play. There's a 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional game that you can work on there as well. All right, good luck with everything. I hope you go really well. Bye.